Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah, Koholoyumla, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakahakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to state the water to all the H.I.M and H.I.M that's out here sincerely keeping the laws and statutes and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan the Waf. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that is edifying by the Spirit. And back in this ChatGPT, it's pretty interesting to ask the questions. You know what I'm saying? It'll generally give you it'll give you history. It'll give you, some information. A lot of the stuff that, you have to filter because Esau, this is his system. This is his kingdom. It's certain information that, he's not going to want to actually come out. But if you ask certain questions, with detail, because you have to be kind of detailed with these questions, and it'll give you some information. So I put in, why do white people call themselves white when they are actually red in color? Okay. And this is what ChatGPT responded. The term white as a racial category is a social construct. And that's true. We say it all the time. Rather than a literal description of skin color. So it's not a literal description of skin color because these people are not white. They don't look like a glass of milk. They don't look like clouds. They don't look like snow. They're actually pinkish to reddish in color. It says it has its roots in European colonialism and the development of racial classifications during the 17th and 18th centuries. Europeans and those of European descent, which they're not Europeans neither, they're actually Edomites. These people come from Esau. He's the progenitor of the so-called white race, Esau, which his name was, also identified as Edom, because that word Edom goes into red, which that's their color, or Idumean in Greek, because these people are not Europeans. All these new names, Greeks and Romans and, Russians and Germans and French and Italians and Ukrainians and all that shit like that. None of that stuff it has nothing to do with the Bible. These people have a biblical nationality. They are Edomites. Okay, so it goes on to say Europeans and those of European descent adopted the term white to distinguish themselves from other races, other racial groups such as black for Africans and yellow for Asians in the context of creating social and political hierarchies, right? So, of course, they have Africans, which are Hamites, and we're different from Africans. We're not so-called Negroes in America are not Africans. We're a different set of people. Everyone with melanin are not the same people. That's something that you have to get in your mind as well. No matter of fact, I haven't done it in a while, but let me let's go into the Bible dictionary as far as ham. Let's just put it in the Bible dictionary. Okay, so the AI overview, it says, in the Bible, Ham is Noah's son and the father of Canaan, known for the story of Noah's curse on Canaan after Ham saw his father's nakedness. Let's see. Okay, so let me put in, because Esau been getting a little slick lately. They've been taking a lot of stuff out of the Bible as of late. So like you're not out of the Bible with that, not out of the Bible, but just offline when you Google certain stuff, because they know that the Hebrew Israelites have been scouring through this thing. They know that we've been, because what Esau don't expect you to do, you Negroes to do, is to look things up. He doesn't expect you to search anything. He doesn't expect you as so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to read, right? So let's get this one right here. Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary. Ham, not the Negroes. See? The youngest son, Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitors of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. See, in his crafty counsel that Esau, the so-called white man, he bunches us up with all 54 countries that's over in the continent of Africa. Because when you look at Africa, let's go back real quick. And the average so-called black person don't know this. They have no idea, man. That is how many. They just, when they hear Africa, they just think Africa. They just think that the continent of Africa is a country, you know. But the continent, that's a continent. It's not an actual country. So let's put in how many countries, which it should be 34, are in. Just like I'm typing too fast. In the continent of Africa. There you go. There are 54 fully recognized sovereign states or countries in Africa. And when you look at it, man, this place is enormous. See? So when you look at all these different places, like when Negroes are telling you, you know, when they're telling you that, and they so proud, they proud of this shit. They'll throw they hand in the air, they fist in the air. I'm proud to be black. I'm proud to be African. We're Africans. But they can't tell you nothing about none of these countries. If they can name 5 countries in this continent, I'd be surprised. But look at all these places, man. You got Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe. You got Mozambique. You got South Africa. You got Zambia. You got Angola, Tanzania, Republic of Congo. You got Congo. You got Libreville, Gabon. You got Central African Republic, Cameroon. You got Sudan. You got Ethiopia, Uganda, Kenya, Somalia, Egypt, Chad, Niger, like all these different places. And so if you were to ask the so-called average black person, okay, well, if you're African, then what African are you? Because these people in this continent, they're going to tell you that, no, we're not related to you. That's straight up. You can ask them, hey, them Africans, those are Hamites. We're Shemites, right? So let's move on from there. We got, it says, let's just get that little part right back over. It says Europeans and those of European descent adopted the term white to distinguish themselves from other racial groups, such as black for Africans and yellow for Asians, which those Asians are not yellow. They have a little bit of melanin. In the context of creating social and political hierarchies. Because those Asians, they used to actually be a lot darker too. And they don't want nothing to do. They don't want to be associated with dark skin at all. That's for damn sure. That's one thing. That's why you'll see them all powdered up, you know, looking like a goddamn donut at Krispy Kremes. It says, while it is true that human skin tones vary, and what is referred to as white skin often has pink, red, or beige undertones rather than being truly white. And none of them are truly white. They're all pinkish to reddish in color, man. The label white became associated with European ancestry. The use of white was symbolic and ideological, representing ideas of purity, superiority, and civilization in contrast to other groups that were seen as color or non-white. And this is Esau and him pushing throughout the earth that he's this brilliant man when actually he's the basis of men. He's the basis of the nations that are on the planet, right? And we can get that. He's not as smart as he's talking about he is. He's got the people out here thinking like, you know, like matter of fact, I was just looking at this little so-called these people coming back from space or whatever, you know what I'm saying, a little landing and shit. It's in the backdrop right now. They just kind of got out of it. I was looking. That shit looked like a badass B movie on Tubi, the Tubi app, man. You know, but they, you know, they're the ones that's out here. You know, that's, you know, they supposedly set their nest amongst the stars, and they have all this tech, and they're just so goddamn smart. You know what I'm saying? And you know. And don't get me wrong, they do have some knowledge, some wisdom, some understanding on the left-hand side, but it's not according to the right-hand side wisdom that the Lord gave the Israelites, right? So let's get Daniel 4:17. In the book of Job, chapter 30, man, hey, these people wasn't long, it wasn't long ago that those so-called Europeans were in those caves over there. No, Salakia, did I put it in? 4:17, Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth it to whomsoever he will and setteth up over it the basis of men. See that? And let's go into this word basis. It's H82 and 15. Low. It's just straight to the point. It says from H82 14 corresponding to, okay, it's a base. Humble, put down, subdue. So that's the original of the etymology. But the whole thing of it is this is a low people. This is a base people, man. Matter of fact, let's put in this word base. Just define it. Base of a person or person's actions or feelings without moral principles, ignoble, denoting or befitting a person of low society. Foundation, basis. Let's see here. Core, essence, essential, nitty gritty, basics, starting point, key component, fundamentals, root, heart, backbone, theory, principle, rationale, source, origin. And this is basically what it is right here. The adjective, the dictionary, the definition number 2. Sordid, improper, low, mean, bad, wrong, evil, wicked, iniquitous, immoral, sinful, unscrupulous, unprincipled, unseemly, unsavory, shoddy, squalid, vile, foul, vulgar, tawdry, cheap, low-minded, debased, degenerate, deprived, corrupt, reprobate, dissolute, dishonest, dishonorable, disreputable, despicable, discreditable, contemptible, petty, ignominious, I'm probably pronouncing that one wrong, ignoble, shameful, wretch, scandalous, infamous, abhorrent, abominable, disgusting. See? Well, see, when Esau, he calls you black, that's actually what that word black goes into. See, he doesn't want you to know that he's the actual, in reality, he would be really the actual black person. Because that word black goes into a lot of negative terms, which all these terms I pretty much named off. That's pretty much what black goes into. That's why we don't call ourselves black. You know, we're not black. We're different shades of brown. And matter of fact, this ChatGPT, it goes off into that. It actually says that we're not black people. It goes on to say at the so this is the last paragraph they put in there. These racial terms are more about societal perceptions and hold on, let me see. Did I get that? Did I pass it? Oh no, I had to go back. Did I miss it? No. I was on point. Salakia, let me start back. These racial terms are more about societal perceptions and categories than accurate physical descriptions. Just as people with darker skin tones might be described as black. See, here you go. Even though their skin may range from light brown to very dark brown, white became a convenient, generalized label to group people of European descent despite the variations in their actual skin tone. So see, they know what's up. They know that this is a social construct. They're not going to push that though. You know what I'm saying? They're not. They want they want you to believe that you are a color out of a crayon box. Why? Because that throws you for a loop and keeps you from coming into the truth of who you really are. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You are Israelites. These are names that they gave you when they colonized you. Because you have to realize, you so-called blacks in this country, your ethnicity, so to speak, has been changed up a bunch of times, you know, because first off, we was being called, I'm not sure when we came off the boats, I think niggers. Then it went from that to, I think, maybe Negro. Then it went from that to, I think, colored. Then it went from that to, I think black. Was it black? I think it went from colored to black. No. I think it went, from colored to Afro. Damn, did it go from colored to Afro-American? And then from Afro-American to black, I think, and then black to African-American. So we're the only people in the world where our nationality or our ethnicity just changes up as they see fit. You know, And they got it on the books. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to really check a damn box when you go and, you get a job. You got to check a box, when it comes to certain framework, or as far as anything that you have to do, anything that has to do with, so-called governmental information, a driver's license or, a social security, they bullshit social security numbers and all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? All those little things, you're going to have to check that box, man. And they're going to have, now these days they have other. And if you check other, you're really just going to have a problem. If you trying to get a job and you're actually so-called black, you might as well just check that shit. If you check other, there's a good chance that they may not even fuck with you. But then again, who knows? They might, but I didn't want to keep this long. I just asked this question. GPT, it's pretty decent about giving you some decent information, because this is overall the information that goes with when they call themselves white and when they call us black. These are not actual ethnicities. These are social constructs. And it explained it perfectly, actually. It really did. So, I just wanted to kind of just touch on that for a hot sec, because, as a matter of fact, let me grab the scripture on Esau being red, because he's actually red. This guy's pinkish to reddish in color. Don't ever believe that this guy is he has pushed that bullshit that he looked like these chemtrails that he's spraying in the sky. Nah, man, nah. This motherfucker out here, man. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's see. I could just go in this. Let me go back on this one. Let's just put in. I'm just gonna put in white people, right? And again, they call themselves a bunch of different names, but the Lord calls them Edomites. Okay, so I just put in white people, put in images. And see, typically, this is what they look like right here. This guy right here. Now, when it comes to this truth, it's not a skin color thing, because there are Israelites that actually look like this guy, because we've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. We look like every race of people on the planet. Even this guy that looks like a so-called Chinese person in the backdrop right there. But typically, just making the point, this is what Esau, or the so-called white man, actually looks like. This guy right here. Look at him. He's clearly red. Look at his ears. His blood show forth through his skin because he has no melanin. That's that original mark of Cain right there. Right? Now see this young lady right here? They would call her black, but she's just a nice deep little brown. But she goes by the nationality of black. Why? Because the so-called white man has pushed that on us as a people. Right? Like this guy right here. And they come in different shades. Like you can clearly see his shirt is white, but he's not the same color as his shirt. But he's claiming that he's the color of his shirt. This guy right here as well. Look at him. See? These are Edomites. Like this guy right here. His hair is what you what would be called hoary in the Bible, as far as gray hair. But it's white, but he's not the same color as that. See? It's like this lady right here. Her hair is, like a hoary look, like a, supposedly gray or white, but she's not that color. Right? And these are things that we had to break down. Look at, oh my, what is this? Anyway, you can clearly see, yeah. But this is what they are pushed through the world. Like this one right here, look. She's between the color of her skin, and her lipstick. She's pinkish to reddish in color. Her hair is white, so to speak. But see, you can clearly see these people are not who they're saying that they are. And Esau is a damn devil. He's a deceiver. That's why the scripture says to never trust thine enemy, because he's been pushing this for quite some time, and it's just the norm now. And nobody will actually go up against it except for the men of the Lord. But let me see. Let me just grab that one script, and I can just end out. Yahweh Ratazah, Genesis chapter 20. What is it? 25 and Because this is the twins right here. I'm gonna read it in. Let me read it in a good word translation, starting from Genesis 25 and 22. Now this is going into the twins Esau and Jacob when Rebekah was pregnant, our foremother, and our forefather Isaac. It says, when the children inside her were struggling with each other, she said, if it's like this now, what will become of me? So she went and asked the Lord. The Lord said to her, 2 countries are in your womb. 2 nations will go their separate ways from birth. One nation will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger. So this is what's going on. This is why you have this perpetual hatred of these so-called white people towards these so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because Jacob and Esau will have this. They were having this fight within the womb of our foremother, and it's still going on to this very day. Right? So it goes on to say, when the time came for her to give birth, she had twins. The first one born was red. See that? His whole body was covered with hair, so they named him Esau. Afterwards, his brother was born with his hand holding on to Esau's heel, because the fight was going on, and so he was named Jacob, heel. Isaac was 60 years old when they were born. I thought Isaac was older than that. Let me see here. Okay, yeah, he was 60. He was 70 years old. Okay, cool. I don't know why I was thinking he was older. Okay, but it goes on to say they grew up. Esau became an expert hunter. Who's known to hunt in the world? Esau. Esau is the best hunter out here, man. This motherfucker will hunt your ass down. He sets trap for men. He sets trap for bears. He sets traps for sharks. Damn, whales. I don't give a fuck what it is. He'll hunt your ass down. Esau is the cunning hunter, man. It says an outdoorsman. Jacob remained a quiet man, staying around in the tents. And that's what we do. That's the type of people that we are. We're plain people. When you look at so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, we are pretty much, we go and do the work that we have to do throughout the day to sustain ourselves. And we chilling at the crib. We're not bungee jumping. We're not fucking going out to swim with the sharks. We're not trying to climb no high-ass mountains. We're not trying to go to fucking space. We're not trying to go to the moon. We're not trying to go to Mars. We're not trying to do none of that stuff. This is Esau. He's the one out there with, setting up goddamn traps throughout the wintertime to catch a damn deer or bears or you name it. This motherfucker hunts everything. He hunts the lions. He hunts giraffe. He hunts. Look at him. He got a zoo in every damn city in the world. That comes from cunning hunting. You know what type of hunter you would have to be to catch all the shit that you see in a damn zoo? Think about all the shit that you see in an aquarium at some of these zoos. You know what kind of expert hunter you have to be to catch some of that shit? I wouldn't even be thinking no shit like that. But this man got zoos all over the planet, and he has a textbook. He has curriculum on how to catch these animals and how to do it the proper way. He does that with people. He knows how to catch a criminal, or what they call a criminal, because he's a damn criminal himself. Okay, but it goes on to say they grew up. Esau became an expert hunter and an outdoorsman. Jacob remained a quiet man, staying around the tents. Because Isaac liked to eat the meat of the wild animals, he loved Esau. However, Rebekah loved Jacob. So, this is that ongoing, man. Once Jacob was preparing a meal, when Esau, exhausted, came in from the outdoors from hunting and shit, right? It says, so Esau said, Jacob, let me have the whole pot of red stuff to eat. That red stuff, I'm exhausted. This is why he was called Edom, because it goes off into red. Matter of fact, in the ERV right here, the easy to read version, it says, so Esau said to Jacob, I am weak with hunger. Let me have some of that red soup. That is why people called him red. And he is red. The BBE, it says, and Esau said to Jacob, give me a full meal of that red soup, for I am overcome with need for food. For this reason, he was named Edom. Okay, but it says, Jacob responded, first sell me your rights as firstborn. So Jacob's supplanting him, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. That's what Jake do, man. It says, I'm about to die, Esau said. What good is my inheritance to me? So this guy, he pretty much, he was like, he was willing to give up his whole life for a goddamn, a bowl of damn undone soup. First swear an oath, Jacob said. So Esau swore an oath to him and sold him his rights as firstborn. So this is one of the reasons why Esau hates us to this very day. He hates the children of Israel, man, because of this birthright. And overall, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get this birthright back right now. And it's not going to work, It's not going to work. But anyway, yeah, just wanted to just touch on this, man, to just show a Esau, the so-called white man. That's why we say so-called, because he's not actually white. And this GPT explained it beautifully in here. And I mean, you can download this app if you want to, your from the App Store or whatever. This is the cheap. I mean, this is the free version. I can't even, I should buy a damn version. Go ahead and get the most expensive one and see, what's it really about. You know what I'm saying? I'll put a little money into it. Shouldn't cost that much, but still, I was just playing with this original copy, so to see. But it's pretty interesting. So I might just actually get that one, And who knows, it may actually give you a little bit more detail into some of this stuff. So I'm going to end out there. I pray that the lesson was edifying with that. Kwame Yasha Allah and a Bible ball.